Hey, how is it going, everybody? This is RBT coming at you with Friday Questions and Answers, episode 56, I believe. 57, episode 57, guys. I'm actually recording this on Thursday because I think from now on out, every Friday for like the next month or 2 months, I'm going to be jam-packed with stuff to do, and I won't have time. I won't be home till like 11 o'clock every Friday night now. So I'm going to have to start recording these videos on Thursdays, setting them to upload on Friday. So if you ask a question after I record this on Thursday or on Friday morning, I'll apologize. It will not get answered. And if it doesn't get answered, just ask it in that video so you can be answered next week. So I apologize for that. But yeah, this is Thursday. I've recorded videos for like 5 hours straight. So I'm trying to stay dedicated. I have a ton of stuff to do, but I'm taking time out my day for you guys to get this done. I've recorded like, I think four videos now in the same setup. So hopefully you're going to enjoy those videos, but let's get started on these questions, because I do have a lot of stuff to do, but there's not many, there's 10. So it shouldn't take too terribly long. Jake Fredericks. Who would you put on the Alabama football Mount Rushmore? Let's see. Bear Bryant, obviously. Got to put Nick Saban. Player-wise, off the top of my head, I think you have to put A.J. McCarron. I mean, he's been the quarterback for he's been on 3 national championship teams, the starting quarterback for 2. So I think you have to put him on there. And you have to put Tyrone Prother on there. I know he didn't have the greatest career, but such an iconic player with that one over-the-catch plate ESPY award went to him there, and he ended up getting injured. Such a horrible moment for him. He's such a talented player, so you have to give something like that to him. So those 4 guys, Saban, Bear Bryant, A.J. McCarron, and Tyrone Prother. You could have probably gone back 20, 30 years and found somebody else, but that's my guys. DJ Hayes, when commentating, DJ Hayes asked, when commentating, what are the worst things you can do? For example, redundancy, saying a lot, and getting off topic. Well, it depends what sport it is. Getting off topic for baseball isn't necessarily a bad thing, or softball, because, I mean, you have so much time in between everything that really happens that you probably need to get off topic a little bit to keep your viewers kind of interested a little bit, but you still got to talk about what's going on. I mean, yeah, saying and stuff like that could not be good. Redundancy really isn't a bad thing, depending on how you explain redundancy. Like if I kept saying like the pitch is outside for a ball, and you got to keep saying what's going on in the game because it's radio. They're not watching. It's radio, so you have to pretty much say everything that happens. Like on TV, you can get away with not saying some things because it's so. I mean, you're watching it, so it's obvious, but on radio, you got to say everything. So redundancy and the way you say things isn't necessarily the worst thing. Saying a lot, I mean, that could be bad. Getting off topic's not horrible. I mean, you have to get off topic for, like, basketball or football, that would be bad. But for getting the worst things, probably, I'm not going to say any names, but somebody I do videos with does commentates with, sometimes gets a little bit too on his phone and doesn't pay attention, and I have to like step in for him and start, even when I'm not supposed to be doing play-by-play, I have to start doing play-by-play. So pay attention. Not paying attention is like the worst thing you can do. So that's that, and that's kind of annoying when you're broadcasting somebody else and they don't pay attention. You gotta like step in and do outside of your job for the day. So that is that, and it just blows my mind when somebody would do that, but I'm not going to hate on him anymore. Jake Fredericks, who would you rather build your MLB team with? Buster Posey / Felix Hernandez or Yadier Molina / Clayton Kershaw? Probably Yadier Molina and Clayton Kershaw, because, man, I don't know, that's such a tough question. Buster Posey and Felix Hernandez would be good because Buster Posey's a little bit younger. I'd say he's primed in for a better offensive career than Yadier Molina, but Yadier Molina is such a defensive wizard behind the plate, and he still hits like ridiculous. They're both combinations are still young, even if I don't know how old Felix Hernandez is. He came in the league when he was like 20, so he's probably like 26 now or something like that. But I think I'd go with Clayton Kershaw. I think he's the most dominant pitcher in baseball. He's still extremely young. He's a lefty, so great lefty pitchers come at a premium. Last generation it was Randy Johnson. Now I believe it's going to be Clayton Kershaw for the next generation. Yadier Molina would be great for Clayton Kershaw with his experience and his defensive genius. behind the plate. He can still hit offensively, so I'd probably have to say the combination of Yadier, Molina, and Clayton Kershaw, even though both combinations would be absolutely sick. It's like pretty much just closing your eyes and picking one would be just as good as the other. DJ Hayes asks, is Blake Bell as a tight end something that Tebow should try? Possibly. I mean, yeah, that'd be nice, but I think Blake Bell is maybe a little bit more physically gifted than Tim Tebow is. Because, I mean, Tim Tebow, yeah, he's big and everything, but he's not as tall as a Blake Bell, who's like 6'6", which obviously size and height is a big importance at the tight end position. So I think Blake Bell physically could be a better tight end than Tim Tebow. I think Tim Tebow would be better fit for like an H-back role, sometimes line up in the backfield or at tight end. So I think that'd be a better hybrid role for Tim Tebow, even though I still wouldn't be completely opposed if Tim Tebow trying that quarterback starting somewhere else, but I'm not no guru, right? Jake Fredericks asks, man, Jake Fredericks, and I have 10 questions from 3 people, so kudos to you guys. Really appreciate it. Jake Fredericks asks, do you believe in increasing amount of instant replay MLB? In my opinion, coaches' challenges are a little too much. I'm not really up to date on everything that happened. I think when it gets to challenging strikes and balls, that can be big. That can be really big. But I think you need a couple of challenges for such as like bang bang plays, like at first or second base, for example. A challenge would be huge in the Andres Galarraga. No, who was it? Man, who was the pitcher for the Tigers that did a perfect game? And it should have been a perfect game, but it was called out. I mean, it was called safe. Jim Joyce is the one that called him safe. Who was it? It was a pitcher for the Tigers. Sanchez or Galarraga? Something. Was it Galarraga? Sanchez? Man, oh well. But in that case, if you know what I'm talking about, in that case, that would have been huge because perfect game would have been overturned. He'd have got it, and he would have had a perfect game, which should have been the case. But I think when it gets to calling strikes and balls and then challenging on something like that, that's when it gets too much. Everything else, I believe, is fair play, and there should be home runs should be unlimited. If there's a question on a home run call, that should be reviewed instantly. But a coach's challenge, like a bang bang play, I think 2 or 3 challenges should be about enough, depending how many you get right. DJ Hayes asks, have you ever felt angry knowing that your Red Sox were the best team in MLB, but they didn't win or at least make it to the World Series? Just because they were not. Happens with my Braves all the time. Yeah. I don't really think there's really been a time in the past decade that they've been the best team in baseball and they've actually not won the World Series. I think there's, like, for example, the 2009 team that was ridiculous, and some were mid-season calling it the best baseball team in history. I believe Crawford was on the team, Gonzalez. The year Terry Francona ended up leaving, when they had that tremendous collapse. I thought that team, before the last month, could have been the best team in baseball. And some people were even saying the best team in history, which I thought was kind of preposterous. But maybe that could be the one season I was very angry to see them collapse like that, especially if they didn't make the playoffs. But aside from that, it's not really been a season that's happened for the Red Sox, I don't believe. Except that when collapse year, they didn't even make the playoffs. So, Josh Steen asked a very tough question, chicken or pie. Probably chicken, has more protein in it. Depends what type of chicken though. I really like grilled chicken with barbecue sauce on it and like cut it up and just eat it like that. But chicken sandwiches are nice too. Jake Fredericks, do you believe that Texas A&M commit Speedy Noyle could have a Tavon Austin-like collegiate career? Possibly. He's a really good wide receiver. I see what you mean. He's kind of built the same, playing the slot a lot. Kind of be interesting to see if they do the sweeps, line them up in the backfield like they do with Tavon Austin. So possibly, but I don't know. I don't really see that type of offense fitting in with like a Tavon Austin type contributor, unless they try to base the offense just around Speedy Noyle and try to get him a lot of touches running the football out of the slot. But if anything, I know he's going to have a ton of catches out of the slot. So possibly, it just depends how they utilize him. He's a tremendous talent. No doubt in my mind he's going to have a lot of success and contribute a lot for A&M's offense. DJ Hayes asks, How sweet would it be if Aaron Murray went to the Broncos to learn under Peyton Manning while A.J. McCarron went to the Patriots to learn under Tom Brady? And a couple years later, A.J. McCarron and Aaron Murray would have their legendary games like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. That would be pretty cool. And I think those could potentially, well, I don't know. I think it's more likely that A.J. goes to the Patriots and Aaron Murray to the Broncos because the Broncos already have their experimental quarterback in Brock Osweiler. But no doubt, Aaron Murray will get drafted, I think, anywhere from 3 to 5th rounds. But I just don't think the Broncos would draft. Maybe, I don't know, maybe, but I don't know. I don't think they'd spend a top 5 round pick on a quarterback because they already have Brock Osweiler back there. But AJ, I think, has been linked to the Patriots in some senses because that Bill Belichick seems to always draft players out of the SEC, and they're really good friends, Nick Saban and Bill Belichick. So I think he'd probably trust AJ McCarron if Nick Saban behind AJ's back gave good praises for him. And I see him, AJ, kind of fitting in with the attitude of the Patriots and Tom Brady. So I think that would be a good fit. But I mean, that would be a good fit, Aaron Murray to the Broncos. But I just don't see that happening. But Aaron Murray, I think, will be okay. Josh Steen asks, do you think Blake Bortles is first pick worthy? Who do you think will be pick number 1? Oh, man. Potentially, I think he has the potential to be a number 1 pick. But as of right now, the number 1 pick is so important in building a franchise and getting better that I would have a guy that's more proven than Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles, I mean, he's done well at Central Florida, but has he done enough to show that he's a number 1 pick? I mean, he's been kind of inconsistent. If it was me, I know I've ranted and raved and kissed up to Teddy Bridgewater so much, but I really am a firm believer in Teddy Bridgewater. I believe he's going to be the best quarterback out of this draft class. I really do. I think he's going to be absolutely amazing in the league. I'd heard he had a bad pro day or something, but screw that. I think Teddy Bridgewater is an absolute beast. I rely on film and tape, and he's an absolute beast. He's been like, well, obviously aside of Johnny Manziel, he's been one of the few quarterbacks that have actually dropped my draw. Well, really the only quarterback, even including Johnny Manziel that I've seen that I've really dropped my jaw on actual in the pocket throws. Yeah, Johnny Manziel makes some crazy plays running the football and outside the pocket like that, but actual throws like in the pocket, having to make an NFL type throw, Teddy Bridgewater will make you drop your jaw. So that is who I picked number 1, even though it might not happen anymore. I thought like 2 or 3 months ago, that would definitely happen. But I mean, Blake Bortles is a possibility. As of right now, I would say he's probably going to get picked number 1 from what I'm hearing. But I personally don't think he's number 1 pick worthy. Is he top 10 pick worthy? Heck yeah. He could end up being the best quarterback out of this class. I mean, based on potential, has the best size, best frame, probably the biggest arm. Accuracy is a problem, but those 3 things, I think by far he has the number 1 out of the quarterbacks being considered for the top pick. I think that the number 1 pick comes down to either Blake Bortles or Jadeveon Clowney, really. Even though I think it should be Teddy Bridgewater, I think it probably will end up being Bortles. I think Bortles, from what I hear, Bortles and Bill O'Brien really have connected. And I've really talked a lot, and I think Bill O'Brien really likes Blake Bortles, so I think Blake Bortles will probably get number 1 as of right now. So that's it. That's the last question, guys. So I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to hit that like button. This might be the quickest Friday questions and answers ever. Only 14 minutes. So be sure to leave a question in the comment section below. It can be about anything, as always, sports related, my life related, anything. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And as always, guys, roll Tide, go Sox, and go Titans to you. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/SRTR. Hope you have a great weekend. Let me know if you enjoy this setup better. And I'm also using my blue snowball, so hopefully the microphone sounds better with better quality and everything else. So I'll catch you guys next Friday. Until then, have a great weekend and great week. See you then. Peace.